Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Wisconsin.
Conditions about as good as they get in the city of Milwaukee in mid-August. We welcome you inside Miller Park, where the Crew has a chance to win their series against the Philadelphia Phillies, leading 2-1 as we enter Game 4. Kyle Kendrick and Randy Wolf will oppose each other on the hill today. Combined, since the All-Star game, these pitchers have only won one game, so a lot on the line for them. And Ryan Braun is having a series to remember with 4 home runs in 3 games so far and has driven in 6 RBIs. Davey and Craig back on board if you're here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And we're going to talk Randy Wolf right now. Back on the mound, the former Philly pitching against his old team. But this season as a whole just has not had that consistent start from start to start.
Right, he certainly has. You know, he's still trying to find it. But this is all very important for Randy. Every start from here on in, you know, is very important for him because he wants to show that he can, you know, he's a free agent next year. So he's got to be able to show that he can still pitch. And every start is important. This guy is a professional. He's got good stuff, but he's got to be able to find it.
And he got hit by the Rockies his last time out, just 5 innings, 10 hits, and 6 earned runs. Randy Wolf gave up. Well, we got a new look to the Brewer lineup today. Ron Renicky putting a new twist on taking a Sunday off for many of his star players, except for one who remains a consistent Brewer slugger.
Needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, when you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Beautiful Sunday for baseball in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the final game of this series, Ryan Braun, he has been red hot. He is among the extra base hit leaders. Aramis Ramirez at the top of that list. Ryan Braun with 4 home runs in 3 games. He has 56 extra base hits this season. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Final game of the series where the Phillies and the Brewers trying to make it 3 out of 4. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. And Rock, interesting lineup today for Ron Renick. He's made some changes. He's giving some guys some days off today, including some of his big boppers in the lineup.
Yeah, right in the middle of that batting order. Corey Hart, Aramis Ramirez getting today off, but the big stick in the lineup, he certainly is going to be in there. Ryan Braun showing why he's an MVP. Everybody talking about his last road trip, being a disappointment. 5 for 22. A lot of guys would take that as a slump, but Ryan Braun, 6 for 11 on this homestand so far in this series. 4 home runs. He's carrying this offense, and just look at the way he's able to cover home plate. It looks as though he's pushed himself a little bit further off the plate, able to cover the inside corner, as he's always been able to cover that outside corner. All 4 of his home runs in this series coming up the middle or to right field. Right now, he's seeing the baseball extremely well.
Now, Braun's home run last night brought the Brewers within a run. Unfortunately, could not complete the comeback. The Phillies won last night. The Brewers a chance to take 3 out of 4 from the fighting Phils. Randy Wolf against Kyle Kendrick. It's game 4 of the series, and it's coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Ryan Braun, he has been front and center in this series against Philadelphia, signing some autographs today. A bunch of Little Leaguers out, American Legion players out. Great day for baseball in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sunday in game 4 of this series with the Philadelphia Phillies. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes, of course, Withers and Kevin Shank manning the operation in the truck. And a delight to have you with us today. There is Charlie Manuel, his 8th season as the Phillies skipper, his 50th season in professional baseball. All-time winningest Phillies manager. His Piggly Wiggly batting order today. He's got Jimmy Rollins, Kevin Franson, and John Mayberry Jr. at the top of the order. Ryan Howard, Ty Wigginton, and Dominic Brown in the middle, with Michael Martinez starting at second base for Chase Utley. Brian Schneider does the catching, and Kyle Kendrick on the mound, coming off a very good ball game against Miami his last time out. Randy Wolf coming off a rough start his last time out against the Colorado Rockies. Rock looking for a bounce back here this afternoon.
Well, just the team to do it. Randy Wolf has had good success in his career against Philadelphia. He's 3-2 to 386 earned run average. He threw the baseball very well against the Phillies in Philadelphia, went 6 innings and left with a 6-2 lead. Unfortunately, got a no decision.
4-man umpiring crew. Mike McClinsky will call the balls and strikes. The crew chief is Brian Gorman. Todd Tishner and Tony Randazzo join him on the bases. All set to go here today. A bunt by Rollins, and Cody Ransom makes the play, challenging the new third baseman. Ransom filling in for Aramis Ramirez this afternoon, and Rollins is retired on the first pitch.
Have bunted it a little bit too hard. Had Cody Ransom playing in with the bag, figuring that Rollins might try a bunt. That's an easy play for Cody. A good throw off balance. Cody Ransom could play just about everywhere for you. Today at third base. Yesterday he was at second base.
Well, Cody Ransom on the Brewers Live pregame show with Davey Nelson, talking about his versatility and how he handles the different positions. Saw him make a great play at second base last night, and rewarded with a start here today. Brewers have a couple of players in there that don't get starts very often on the corners, with Cody Ransom and Travis Ishikawa. Kevin Franson in the 2-hole for the Phillies again today. Has 4 hits in the series, but he was 0 for 4 yesterday. The Phillies won behind Cole Hamels last night, a final of 4-3. The Brewers able to bring it within a run, but could not push across that tying run. Hamels with the victory improved to 14-6. He went 7 2/3 last night, giving up 3 earned runs. And he struck out 10 Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, he looked very good on the mound yesterday. The Brewers able to get 3 runs on him, 2 home runs, 1 by Ryan Braun, and the first time in 3 games that anybody scored on Cole Hamels. That's how good he's been.
Yeah, had a consecutive inning streak, snapped at 23 last night. Phillies will have Kyle Kendrick on the mound. Saw Cliff Lee and Cole Hamels in the first 2 games of this series. Hard to believe, with all the firepower the Phillies have, all these big names, big contracts, that they are 10 games under 500 to start play today. They're just a half game better than the Brewers, as a matter of fact. Milwaukee is 54-65 in 4th place in the Central. The Phillies are in 4th place in the East at 55-65. 3-2 ripped into left field, a base hit for Franson, and his 5th hit of the series in 4 games. So some lineup changes for Ron Renicky. Let's give you the Brewers defensively. No Aoki today. It's Braun, Gomez, and Morgan in the outfield, and then you got Ransom and Ishikawa on the corners for Ramirez and Hart, with Segura and Weeks up the middle, and Jonathan LUCROY catching Randy Wolf for the first time this season. 72 degrees. Some clouds have rolled in here in the last few moments. Hitters will appreciate that. Sometimes the daytime shadows can be tough on the hitters. I can't imagine better conditions than this right now for an offensive player.
Yeah, the shadows are usually an issue here at Miller Park during the day, particularly this time of year. No cloud cover, expecting some precipitation later on today, but as normal, it doesn't affect the game here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, starting to feel like fall a little bit as we play on the 19th of August. Wolf facing John Mayberry Jr. No Chase Utley in the batting order tonight. Mayberry gets the start in center field and gets that coveted 3 spot in the batting order. Bouncing ball. Segura quickly over to second for 1 to turn. Not in time. Mayberry beats it out.
And Mayberry, with those long legs, able to get down the line in very good shape. A couple of hops. Segura had to go over toward the hole. Good feed to Ricky, but Just not in time. A good throw by Weeks. A perfect feed from Segura. And Mayberry gets down that line very well for a big man. Big, long strides, and he's able to beat him at first base.
And that gives Ryan Howard a chance at the plate here in this first inning. Mayberry made his first start of the series yesterday. He's back in there today. Ryan Howard has done some damage in this series. Yesterday he was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Howard with 7 homers, 21 runs batted in. Today playing in just his 35th game of the year, recovering from Achilles surgery. And Randy Wolf gets ahead of him, 0-2. Randy Wolf pitched a nice ball game against the Phillies his last time out back on the 23rd of July. Went 6 innings and a no decision, gave up just 2 earned runs. And hoping for a repeat performance today as Howard takes ball 1. Randy Wolf was signed and developed by the Philadelphia Phillies. Spent the early part of his career with Philadelphia.
Well, he's had good numbers against Philly. 3-2. It's raining here at Miller Park. That's something that you don't see very often. Rain as the game's going on. Maybe a little bit of a just a brief shower, or the roof would be closed.
What is that stuff falling from the sky? Say Brewers fans who are used to the climate controlled Miller Park. I'm trying to think of how many times I've ever looked through the rain here at Miller Park watching a game go on.
Yeah, not often.
Can't remember one.
Probably not going to last very long.
3-2 pitch, runner goes, and a swing and a miss. Howard strikes out. Randy Wolf with a good start here today. Responds with a victory here today. It would be 3 out of 4 against the Phillies if the Brewers win. With the raindrops falling and the roof still open. The Piggly Wiggly batting order for the Brew Crew. It's Morgan, Weeks, and Braun. LUCROY, Ishikawa, and Gomez in the middle with Cody Ransom, Gene Segura, and Randy Wolf rounding it out. And there's Kyle Kendrick.
Yeah, I wonder if that tarp's going to be rolled out for the first time ever here at this ballpark during a game anyway. 17 start for Kyle Kendrick. He's bounced between the starting rotation and the bullpen. He snapped a 5-game losing streak his last time out. And he pitched very well against the Miami Marlins.
Kendrick went 7 shutout innings against the Marlins in his last time out. He's either been very good or very bad this year. Kind of a Jekyll and Hyde season going for Kyle Kendrick. He's actually allowed 2 earned runs or less in 10 of his 16 starts this season. But in his other 6 starts, he's given up 5 earned runs or more. It is raining hard right now. The roof is
starting to close.
It's trying. It's closing, but a lot of fans have evacuated up into the concourse area. You just don't expect to see rain here at Miller Park.
And no reason to bring an umbrella to the old ballpark. No. So you make do. You got a sign, cover your head.
Morgan into left field. That ball's pretty well hit. Back is Wigginton, still going back, and he can't make the catch. Morgan flying around the bases, on his way to third, and he is in there with a leadoff triple. Second triple of the year for Nyjer Morgan, and what a way to start offensively for the Brewers.
Yeah, 2 triples in this series, both of them maybe misplays by the outfield. He got one in right center. Dominic Brown dropped. And this one, Ty Wigginton going back. He was playing shallow with Morgan at the plate. Barely making it to the warning track, and ordinarily that's a ball that an outfielder is going to be able to catch.
And Nyjer Morgan safe at third, safe and secure. New York life. Not only was Wigginton looking up into the raindrops, but right on the line of that baseball, the roof is closing up there as well. So he had a few challenges to deal with. Aside from the fact that he hasn't played a lot of outfield in his career.
Right, he's a third baseman, you know, for the most part, shifting to left field, and there you see what he's looking up at. You know, raindrops hitting him in the face and just off the end of his glove.
Is that what you say? Raindrops keep falling on his head?
Right. Nyjer Morgan was hoping for it. Sometimes you just can't predict Mother Nature, right?
It's a very isolated shower.
All the technology that everybody has with radar, it kind of snuck up on everybody here.
Believe it or not, the roof actually closes extremely fast for stadium roofs.
Pretty soon the only people that are going to be rained on are going to be the players.
That's right. As the fans return to their seats. Runner at third, nobody out. Good way to start for the Brewers. See if they can cash it in. Ricky Weeks had a day off yesterday, and he's back in the starting lineup. Saw Ryan Braun get a day off Sunday. He responded in a big way through the first 3 games of this series, and I think Ron Renicky giving a breather to Corey Hart and Aramis Ramirez today, hoping for the same kind of results. Little bouncer. Here comes Morgan, and now he's caught in a rundown. And Morgan tagged out. Morgan slipped in the baseline.
Well, you have the contact play on. The only time you do not take off is to come back right back to the mound. So another base running mistake by Milwaukee. They made a couple of them in yesterday's game. They come back right at Kendrick, and for some reason Nyjer thinks he can score. There's no chance. Not able to stay in a rundown long enough to get Ricky to second base.
He saw his foot slip. Hopefully Morgan's all right. And now Kyle Kendrick saying the mound is a little too slippery to pitch as well, and probably going to need some work on the mound as this rain shower.
Yep, water's starting to pull up on the infield dirt.
So the home plate umpire Mike McClinsky asking for some work to be done.
This is a first for the ground crew.
Yeah, on the mound and the home plate area. And they'll have to touch it up. There should be a short delay here. And soon enough the roof will be closed. It's inching that way. Nyjer Morgan with that wet baseline, and on that triple, the rain coming down. Just don't see it very often.
No.
Roof typically closed here, but a quick burst of a rain shower. And you know it's going to happen, Rock. As soon as that roof is all the way closed, sealed up tight, it'll stop raining.
I'll just open it up again.
Well, we're not even going to call this a rain delay. We just have a stoppage in play for a moment as they touch up the area around home plate and the pitcher's mound. And the roof is almost in the closed position. But this is what the grounds crew has to work on. Look, there's no rain in the area, but watch it just pop up right over Milwaukee.
Yep.
Right there. Boom. Is that what you call an isolated thunder shower, Rock?
I think.
Just isolated right over Miller Park.
It's a clear-up storm, right? Well, they were predicting rain today, but they figured it was going to be later on. But again, you just can't predict sometimes. And it was about 200 feet from here. There wasn't any rain. The production truck, they were saying it wasn't raining over there.
Right.
And that's right next door.
Right. Well, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back and we'll resume play here in the bottom of the first inning. Mound. An isolated thunderstorm popped up quickly here. Rain. They tried to close the roof, but significant amount of rain falling on the field. So just a brief delay here as we're in the bottom of the first inning. We'll be right back at it.
And you would figure the mixture of the dirt here at Miller Park doesn't have anything that would absorb that water because you don't need it. You have the roof. If it rains, you close it up. So it looked as though the field took on a little bit more water than you would expect.
Well, the roof is closed up. Got a nice ovation when it hit that last peg. And instead of what would be a significant rain delay, right side, we're going to be playing baseball here shortly. The kind of game that could go on for a long time if the roof is not up there. But in defense of the decision makers who open and close that roof, it was bright sunshine 10 minutes before first pitch. It looked beautiful out. And all of a sudden these clouds just popped up and the rains came down.
So Justin Scott and his grounds crew team. There's Justin in the white shirt. You never know what you're going to experience when you wake up in the morning. And no, Justin is not responsible for closing the roof.
He's just responsible for cleaning up the mess afterwards. He does a great job, Justin Scott.
Yes, he does.
Replacing a longtime grounds crew supervisor, Gary Vandenberg, who passed away last year. Tough shoes to fill. Justin's done nice work. All right, we're set for baseball again. First in my Brewers career here in 6 years. A rain delay at Miller Park. So here's Braun now. We pick it up with 1 out. Bottom of the first inning. Nigel Morgan started this inning with a triple, but then was cut down on a bouncer back to the mound off the bat of Ricky Weeks on a 1 unassisted putout. And now Braun is up with 1 away and Weeks at first. It's not a bad idea for Kendrick just to see what kind of footing the base runner has at first base. The grounds crew did spread some diamond dry out there as well. In the leadoff position, you can see the different color dirt, the absorbing diamond dry.
They have a fancy term for kitty litter out there.
Same principle. Both batters' boxes, the catcher's box. Wonder how that dirt will affect the ground balls in this game. If it'll certainly soften the blow a little bit. Weeks takes off. He skids out of his start, but will reach without a throw as that ball skipped away from Schneider. Weeks peeled out at first base, but he steals second. And the Brewers put a runner in scoring position for Braun. Number 8 for Weeks has not been caught this year.
Yeah, the Brewers have been running very well. A little bit of a problem getting going, but no contest at second base. The Brewers have been stealing a lot of bases. They're 3rd in the league in stolen bases this year. Something that's not talked about a whole lot. 3rd in stolen bases, 1st in sacrifice bunts. So they've been trying to manufacture runs, but coming up with that big hit has been an issue. And it's an issue for every club.
Well, Ryan Braun's having a monster series. 6 hits in 11 at bats. 4 of those 6 hits are home runs. And his season versus the Phillies, even more impressive. Ryan Braun against the Phillies this year. This is the 7th game he's played against them. In 6 previous games, he's hitting .565, 13 for 23, 6 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Yeah, we're not talking about some no-name pitchers he's facing either. Talking about pitchers like Halladay and Lee twice, Cole Hamels. There's a strike called on the outside corner. Braun is rung up. Doesn't agree with the call. Big K for Kendrick. Defensively for the Phillies, Ty Wigginton making his first start of the year in left field. John Mayberry, Dominic Brown join him in the outfield with Franson, Rollins, Martinez, and Howard around the infield. Brian Schneider does the catching. Menard's Phillies defense. Jonathan Lucroy in the absence of Aramis Ramirez, hitting 4th today. And an RBI opportunity here with Weeks out at second base. Well, you have to figure that any base hit to the outfield, that's going to be a wet baseball the outfielder will pick up. And I'm sure the Brewers are going to be aggressive. It's hard to get a good accurate throw to the plate with a dry baseball, much less a wet one. Quick trip to the mound for Brian Schneider. Kendrick took over in the rotation after the Phillies traded Joe Blanton to the Dodgers. It's been that swingman for him this year, kind of the Phillies version of Marco Estrada.
Been in and out, and only made 1 start in the month of July. That control pitcher doesn't throw very hard. You have 12 home runs in 103 and a 3rd innings. Not too bad, particularly if you pitch at Citizens Bank Park.
Kendrick from the Pacific Northwest, Mount Vernon, Washington, his hometown. 27 years of age. 0-2 the count on LUCROY. Kendrick was the mainstay in the Phillies rotation 2 years ago. In 2010 was an 11-game winner. Been in the big league since 07. Twice has won 11 games in his career. Been a much better road pitcher for the Phillies this season.
Yeah, most of them are. Pretty good hitters ballpark in Philly.
Charlie Manuel has had Kendrick in the mix. He has been a part of every division title for the Philadelphia Phillies, 5 in a row. And now getting his chance to prove he's a starting pitcher again. LUCROY fouls that one away.
You can see Kendrick really trying to concentrate on the outside corner. Fastball with a little bit of sink, a tail from time to time. They throw a slider as well. Nothing on the inner half of the plate yet for this Brewers offense.
One and two to LUCROY with Weeks out at second base. 2-2. This inning started with a triple from Nyjer Morgan. And he was cut down on a comebacker to the mound. Looked like Morgan was running on contact. And an easy out for Kendrick. And a brief delay as the roof was closing. And a furious rain shower right on top of Miller Park. And as predicted, as soon as the roof closed, the rain stopped. But still the threat. I doubt they'll open it back up again at this point.
Nice in here, whether it's open or closed, doesn't really matter. What do we got going here?
I'm not sure. Can't be fun at the old ballpark, Brock. 2-2 pitch. LUCROY out to short. Jimmy Rollins makes the play for the out, and the inning is over. An adventurous bottom of the first. Still scoreless.
Purchase a Corey's Corner ticket package for $35 that includes your outfield ticket and a Corey Hart t-shirt. A portion of the proceeds benefit the American Heart Association. Visit Brewers.com/Hart.
Yeah, surprising rain shower if you're just picking us up. Delayed the action a little bit by about 10 minutes here at Miller Park at the bottom of the first inning. Grounds crew is still out there trying to dry up some of the infield now between innings and not wanting to delay the activity much longer. Justin Scott and his crew hustling as always. Grounds crew getting a good workout here today. Randy Wolf ready to go. Starts his second inning. He gave up a hit in the first inning. Struck out Ryan Howard with a runner at first. The former Philly Randy Wolf had some good years with the Philadelphia Phillies. That's where the Wolf Pack was made famous. Wolf facing Ty Wigginton to start it. Charlie Manuel just looking for some offense, sacrificing defense with Wigginton in left field. And we've already seen it in this game. Nigel Morgan hit one over his head for a triple, but the Brewers could not cash in. There's a strike. Wigginton making his first start this year in left field, has 60 career games as a left fielder, but mostly an infielder, a corner infielder, third or first. Little jam shot out to Segura, and a strong arm from Segura takes care of Ty Wigginton for the first out.
Yeah, he's been able to make all the plays, you know, in the hole, into the up the middle, coming in. It looks like a natural over there at shortstop, still learning the position. He's got a terrific arm to back up, pretty good athleticism. Gets rid of it quickly, right on the money.
Great body control, according to the Brewer coaching staff, especially infield coach Garth Ord. And the one thing Garth Ord said about Segura, which you love to hear for a rookie shortstop, he goes, I tell him once where to go, one time through the batting order, as far as where to set up defensively, and I don't have to do it again. He's always in the right spot after that. He remembers, has great retention, studies the hitters. And for a 22-year-old shortstop who is just playing the position for the first time in the big leagues, that's pretty impressive that he can grasp all of that.
Well, sometimes it comes down to you're either able to do it or you can't, and you take it upon yourself to make adjustments and to remember. A lot of times shortstops aren't developed. They're you're born that way.
I think Segura certainly loves the shortstop position. He has been thought of when he was coming up through the Angels system as one of the top second basemen in the organization, defensive second baseman, and he certainly brings the offense to the picture. But he knows how valuable that shortstop position is. It's kind of that sleek position on the baseball field, and he wants to prove he belongs there. 2-2 to Dominic Brown. Brown has had some trouble defensively in this series. He's back out in right field today. Phillies traded away Hunter Pence and Shane Victorino, and they've got some holes in their outfield after those trades, as Brown draws the walk. Close pitch. Brown has made one good catch, but Rock, otherwise he's had some challenges in the outfield.
You can't really blame him for that. I mean, there's one right there that happened last night, the Nigel Morgan triple. He got a late break on a hit yesterday that probably should have been caught, but there's a nice play in foul territory down the right field line. Would have been a nice catch to take back that home run, that grand slam that Corey hit in the 8th inning. But he has struggled out there in the outfield, left and right.
And to think how close Brown was to catching that ball, that would have ended the inning, and the Brewers would have trailed going into the 9th. Instead, it went out at the top of the wall, And Hart had a grand slam. That one is ripped. Michael Martinez deep into left center. And there it goes. He's hit just one home run this year, make it 2 now. As Michael Martinez, a 2-run home run. That's the last guy you expect to hit one out.
Well, the walk, then the first pitch fastball knocks it out of the ballpark. How about that? You know, the switch hitter, Michael Martinez, able to bat from the right side. Right down the middle, and Martinez doesn't waste it, and he hits it hard into the gap out there in left center. So the Brewers will have to play from behind. That's about as good as he can hit a baseball, and he knocks it out of here.
So Michael Martinez starting for Chase Utley. Looks like Chase Utley there, and goes deep. He was hitting 130 with 1 home run before that at bat. Brian Schneider at the plate, quickly 0-2.
And his other home run came as a left-handed batter.
Yeah, that proved to be a game winner earlier this season. Schneider a little flare. That will fall, a base hit. So Brian Schneider dumps one into left field. A 1-out single. 3 consecutive base runners for the Phillies.
Ron Renicky always talks about the importance of the fastball in for Randy Wolf, whether it's the 4-seamer or the cutter. And he has been battling that pitch all year.
Kendrick gets a bunt down here. Ransom to second. Segura able to make a great catch and keep his foot on the bag to get the out. That ball might have had a little moisture on it, as Ransom, normally a very good defensive player.
And he got down there quickly because he was thinking about a double play. It's not often you get a 5 to 6 put out at second base. Ricky Weeks covering the bag at first. A good throw, and I think they're able to turn 2. And you're right, that ball might be a little bit wet. Tough to throw a wet baseball, especially when you really don't get your fingers on the laces. And see, he's able to keep that toe in the bag.
Well, it's a terrific play by Segura. Gets the lead out for the 2nd out of the inning. And here's Jimmy Rollins now. Rollins, a switch hitter. Bounced out in the 1st inning. Rollins was 0 for 5 yesterday. Going to be interesting to see what kind of reaction Jimmy Rollins gets when the Phillies return home. This road trip concludes today. Phillies fans have been on him pretty hard about not running out baseballs. As a matter of fact, a local radio station put a billboard up saying, run, don't jog, Jimmy.
Wow.
Yeah,
harsh.
Pretty harsh.
Yeah, playing in the Northeast is not for the faint of heart. I mean, they're great sports fans, but if you they feel as though you're not giving them a good effort, they're going to let you know about it. And rightfully so.
There's a strike called. Rollins is rung up, and Randy Wolf out of the inning. But Michael Martinez, a 2-run homer, and the Phillies have the early lead. career home run. Gives the Phillies the early lead here as we head to the bottom of the second. A reminder that weekdays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, it's the Dan Patrick Show. Don't miss exclusive guests, high-profile athletes and celebrities, breaking sports news, and unparalleled insider access. The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays at 8 a.m. on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Kyle Kendrick back on the mound, and he'll face Travis Ishikawa to start the inning. Ishikawa last started on the 21st of July against the Cincinnati Reds, and since that time, and here we are on August 19th, he has only amassed 11 at-bats. All of those coming as a pinch hitter or a late inning replacement. So his playing time has been cut short. What's interesting about Ishikawa as a starter this year, he's made 17 starts. He's hitting .304 with 4 home runs, and all but one of his RBIs coming as a starter. So when he's been in the lineup, he's actually been very productive.
Yeah, which hasn't been that often with the emergence of Corey Hart. There's the numbers, pretty good. And knowing you're going to get those 4 or 5 at bats, yeah, makes a big difference when you stand up at the plate. Pinch hitting's not easy. Not everybody can do it.
Ishikawa for Corey Hart today. Hart getting the day off. Corey's done a nice job at first base. Done a lot better defensively than anyone expected, and that's the primary reason why Ishikawa has not been used all that much this year. He was the insurance policy, not just for Corey Hart, but back at the beginning of the season for Matt Gamble as well. Another inexperienced first baseman. I saw Matt Gamble today. He's been around the ball club recovering from that torn ACL. He looks good. He's in shape, and he's trying to recover from that knee surgery. Going to be a long process for him.
Starting to do some late baseball activity. Doesn't take long with the technology and the ways that they are able to fix those knee problems, knees and shoulders and elbows, you name it. I mean, the recovery process is extremely quick. Chris Narveson coming along well.
3 costly injuries for the Brewers in the late April and the early part of May. Narveson out for the season with shoulder surgery. And Alex Gonzalez and Matt Gamble both injured on the same road trip in a 4-day span. Gamble first, a torn ACL, and then 4 days later, Alex Gonzalez with a torn ACL. The Brewers starting shortstop. Ishikawa with a base hit. Good battle there. An 0-2 single for Travis Ishikawa to start the second inning.
Up off speed pitch, able to wait back nicely and get it on the sweet spot. Ishikawa staying right on this pitch. An 8-pitch at bat. A little slider cutter that Ishikawa was able to wait back on and bang into center field. Second hit from Milwaukee. And the second inning that they were able to put that leadoff hitter aboard.
Yeah, good at bat for Ishikawa. So here is Carlos Gomez now. Gomez into right center. That will stay in the park as Brown runs it down for the first out. Cody Ransom now with one away. Ransom trying to shake off a rough day yesterday. 0 for 4, 4 strikeouts for Cody Ransom. Getting back-to-back starts for the Brewers. Renicky trying to get his bat going a little bit so he can help him off the bench. Ransom does have some power off the bench. He does give you that home run threat. Has 9 home runs this year and just over 200 at bats. But he does strike out a lot.
More importantly, you've got to give Aramis Ramirez a day off from time to time, as well as he's been swinging the bat. Brewers don't have an off day until Thursday, and then after that it's 20 in a row. You've got to pick your spots to give your guys a day off. Corey Hart sitting this one out.
Corey Hart and head athletic trainer Dan Wright. They're just catching up on old times. It's always good when you have to reintroduce yourself to the trainer. Hart's had a healthy season this year. They're hoping to finish strong. No balls, 2 strikes on Cody Ransom. Ishikawa at first base, and Ransom fouls another one away. Corey Hart, among others, will be at an event tonight. Coups for Kids in Racine. Our buddy bullpen catcher Marcus Hanel putting on a great event.
Marcus and his family doing a nice job raising money for those in need in the Milwaukee area.
There's a strike called as Ransom is rung up. Kendrick finding that outside corner, and 2 away.
Yeah, it's Miller time in the Miller Lite Beer Pen every Friday night here at Miller Park. Fans 21 and older can get a Lowe's bleacher ticket and a free t-shirt for just $22. Kendrick's had pretty good command on that outside corner so far today. Come inside once in a while, but really just for show. He'll throw it in off the plate, but he wants to get you out of the way. Here comes one now.
Gene Segura takes a called strike.
That was right down the middle.
Segura down on the count 0-2. He's held his own at the plate this year. Segura has a number of infield hits. He is 9 for 37 at the plate, has 4 runs batted in. Still looking for his first big league homer. One ball, 2 strikes on the 22-year-old shortstop from San Juan in the Dominican Republic. Bouncing ball foul. Segura came to the Brewers in the Zach Greinke deal with 2 pitchers. Those 2 pitchers still in Huntsville. Segura is the big chip in that trade. The Angels have struggled since the trade deadline. I mean, Greinke does have a win, but has not pitched all that well. And the Angels continue to fall. The A's have caught the Angels. They're now in second place in the American League West.
The Angels are 8 games back. Oakland 5 games back, and the Angels have lost 3 in a row.
The Angels had an 8-0 lead last night and lost.
Yeah, happens to everybody, doesn't it? You think it just happens to you and your team, but that's not the case.
Angels are 4.5 back in the wild card race starting play today. Yeah, Segura chased one. Down he goes on strikes. So 3 strikeouts for Kyle Kendrick. Strands a leadoff single. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Roof closed here at Miller Park. Some rain showers have popped up here. Actually had a little bit of a delay in the bottom of the first inning before they could get the roof closed up here today. Randy Wolf trailing 2-0, a 2-run home run by Michael Martinez. That was last inning. Randy's third inning. He'll face Franson, Mayberry, and Ryan Howard. 2, 3, and 4 in the Phillies batting order. Franson getting a lot of the playing time at third base for the injured Placido Polanco, who is due to come back soon off the disabled list, has a back injury. Phillies are talking about on this next homestand they may get him back, but the way Franson is hitting, he might have a spot for a while. It's his second hit of the ball game, and now 6 hits for the series. Carsoup.com email the booth question. Rock, who is the toughest pitcher you ever faced?
Do we have to go there again?
That is from James in Allenton.
I think you can answer that question. Walt Terrell. Remember the conversations I've had up here about Walt Terrell?
I don't remember those.
The Tiger pitcher. Yes, you do.
Nope. Don't remember that at all.
I remember having a tough time with him, but I didn't remember the specific numbers. But they dug him up in the truck. I was 1 for 11 with 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, definitely don't remember that. We wouldn't do that to you, Rob.
And it's awfully nice of him to bring that up. Once a month or so.
Well, that was James. You have to blame James.
But they didn't have to pick that one.
That's just a random drawing every day.
You know what? And I was feeling pretty good coming to the park today. Now I got to think about Walt Terrell all day.
There's a strike to Mayberry.
Thanks a lot.
No, you don't have to face him today. Everybody's got their nemesis pitcher.
Yeah, the problem is, back in those days, you didn't have those numbers like they have now. And
Right.
There's no way, if I was a manager, I would have played myself against Walt Terrell. After the first 7 or 8 strikeouts, what was Treblehorn thinking?
You never let on that you maybe don't see the ball as well against Terrell.
I never really went into the manager's office. You know what? I can't hit this guy.
Managers don't like that, do they?
No. Especially when you don't play a lot to start with. So there you go. Walt Terrell again.
All right. Good question, James. Thanks for bringing that up. Opening up an old wound. The lazy pop-up. Segura out in the grass, makes a catch. And there is out number 1. How about the pitcher you owned through your playing career? How about that?
I didn't own anybody.
Oh, come on. Somebody you had to hit well.
No.
How about Danny Darwin?
No, I got my first hit off of Danny Darwin at triple.
Ah, there's a nice memory.
But I wouldn't say I owned him. I didn't own anybody. They owned me.
Remember back in the Clemson days, though, man, you dominated the ACC.
Who's up?
Ryan Howard at the plate. And on the first pitch, he dumps one into center field, a base hit. So 2 hits in the third.
Moving on. And Ryan Howard, a strikeout victim his first time up on a cut fastball. Same pitch, different result this time. Ryan Howard able to stay back and knock it into center field off of Randy Wolf.
Two on, 1 away for Ty Wigginton. Wigginton grounded out his first time up. Had a little slow roller out to short. Segura made a nice play on him. Brewers would love a ground ball here. Try to turn 2 to get out of this inning. A lot of base runners already against Randy Wolf. Phillies had a hit in the first, a walk and 2 hits in the second inning, and 2 hits here in the third. Wonder if Wigginton has a green light here, 3-0. He takes a strike. Wigginton's bounced around in his career, but he's been able to keep a job because he can hit, especially off the bench. It's with the Rockies last year. He was an all-star 2 years ago with the Orioles. Played every day. Had 22 home runs in Baltimore.
He played most of his career as a third baseman. Now you find a guy that can come off the bench maybe once a night, every other night, and be productive. Those are very valuable pieces to a playoff contender. And the Phillies certainly thought they were going to be a playoff contender when they started the year.
And Wolf has come back down 3-0. Full count now with 2 on, and that one's way inside, skips away from Lucroy, and the bases are loaded. So 2 hits and a walk, and Randy Wolf in some trouble here in the third inning with Domonic Brown coming up. Randy Wolf has the matchup against Brown. He walked him in the second inning. Brown was aboard on the Michael Martinez home run. It's a key spot for Randy Wolf. It's early, but Phillies already lead 2-0. Wolf's coming off a rough start in Colorado, giving up 6 earned runs.
He's got to get the baseball down in this situation. He's got a lefty versus lefty advantage. Tough guy to double up. Domonic Brown, he runs pretty well.
Slices one down the line, fair. That is going to go into the corner. This is big trouble. 2 runs are in. Here comes Wigginton, and he will score a 3-run double for Domonic Brown. And just like that, it is 5-0 Phillies.
Domonic Brown doing a nice job staying on this pitch on the outer half of the plate. Lucroy wanted it in. Randy Wolf misses away a little bit, and Brown does a nice job not trying to pull it. Slices it right down the left field line and clears the bases.
A 3 RBI double for Brown. Had 4 RBIs in the big leagues this year prior to that at bat. 5-0. Michael Martinez hit the 2-run homer that gave the Phillies the early lead in the second inning. And Lucroy is on his way out to the mound. You see this a lot with Jonathan Lucroy and Randy Wolf. It's one of the reasons Lucroy hasn't caught Wolf very often. This is the first time this year he's caught him.
And that's been Martin Maldonado and George Kataris.
Slow curve misses. George Kataris traded to the Oakland Athletics. Maldonado took over that role. Lucroy was on the disabled list at the time, and then It is typically Maldonado who continues to catch. There's a base hit. And this could bring another run home. Gomez fires to the plate. A one hop. The tag is in time. Great throw from Gomez. Brown thrown out at the plate.
That was a beauty. I mean, Gomez with a tremendous arm, and the good thing about that throw is that he hit the cutoff man just in case it was off the mark. Look at Gomez charging as fast as he can. Gets a lot on that baseball, and they strike the LUCROY, and they get Brown at home plate. Well done. That was a terrific throw by Gomez.
And the wet track certainly helped. Pizza Hut delivery of the game right over the mound. A rocket to the plate. You could see Brown was stepping gingerly around third base just to make sure he didn't lose his footing around the bag. Remember, we had the rain here before the roof was closed in the bottom of the first, so it's still a wet track out there. It was just enough. Here's Ricky Weeks, and that will retire the side. But the Phillies score 3. A 3 RBI double by DOMONIC Brown. He's gunned down at the plate. 5-0 Philadelphia.
Ready to the Phillies. Time now to get interactive with social media. Sophia Minnaert now here, and Ryan Braun putting up MVP numbers just in this series alone.
Yeah, Craig, last night Ryan Braun picked up his 20th stolen base of the season. The third time in his career he's recorded 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases. In last year's MVP campaign, he entered the 30-30 club for the first time. So our question for fans today, will Braun finish with the 30-30 season, and why? PA and Rock fans can tweet us with the hashtag Braun3030.
All right, get interactive with us on our broadcast today. Ryan Braun certainly has that chance, and he's going to need 10 stolen bases the rest of the season. Got about 6 weeks left, 44 games remaining, and I figure Braun's actually a chance to go 40-30 this year. That's realistic for him if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I think that you know, given the situation the Brewers are in, I think he's going to get an opportunity to steal those 10 bases. I'd be surprised if he did not get 10 more stolen bases the rest of the way. 40. How many? 42 games left after today. Today is game 120.
Randy Wolf starts it for the Brewers at the plate. 2-2 the count on Randy Wolf. Now Ryan Braun leading the league in home runs, tied for the league lead in RBIs. We had the MVP discussion about Ryan Braun in our Brewers Live pregame show. Typically voters trend towards a player who is on a contending team, and that's what we saw last year, and that's why Ryan Braun won the MVP in a lot of voters' minds. Matt Kemp had better numbers in a few categories, but by Braun's own admission, it feels like the MVP should come from a player on a contending team if all things are equal.
Yeah, unless somebody's just head and shoulders above everybody else. We talked about that on Brewers Live pregame today. There has been precedent set for it in baseball for an MVP to come from a team that's actually been in last place.
Randy Wolf flies out to Wigginton for the first out of the inning.
Ernie Banks was an MVP with the Cubs.
How about Andre Dawson? That's a name that
right
thinking of.
MVP with the Cubbies.
Yeah, the Hall of Famer Andre Dawson. But you're right, it has to be by far and away the best season, and that's why Braun has a chance at it this year, because he's leading the league in home runs, RBIs, if he carries on this pace. And the other contenders, just to throw some names out there, you certainly put Andrew McCutchen on that list. Carlos Beltran having an MVP type season. McCutchen of the Pirates, Beltran of the Cardinals, Buster Posey of the Giants. Those are all names that would be in the discussion. And while those three teams are in the postseason hunt, it's not a guarantee they'll make it.
Nobody talks about Matt Holliday this season that he's having in St. Louis. I mean, he's not far behind Carlos Beltran. Holliday, a 300 hitter, to go along with some pretty good run production.
Yeah, McCutchen leads the league in batting average. Holliday has remained healthy. He and Beltran. That was the biggest question for the Cardinals at the beginning of the season. But Braun should be in the picture for the MVP. Morgan slaps one, left field line, falling fast. That's down. And Morgan will stop around first. Wisely holds up at first base. Took two spills. I think the first one was intentional to get him stopped. The other one
looked
not
like
so
he,
intentional.
Looked like he slipped right on top of the bag. A wet base out there. And that one just inside the left field line. So Roger Morgan 2 for 2, both coming to left field. Yep, that was an intentional slide. Then he gets back. Watch him. He's going to step right on top of the bag. Whoop. And there he goes.
So Morgan with his second hit, had a triple in the first inning, now a single here in the third for Ricky Weeks. Well, the Brewers need some offense quickly. They're down 5-0 in the bottom of the third inning. There goes Morgan. Weeks, a slow roller. Franzen gloves it and makes the play. Roger Morgan ends up at second base. Weeks is retired. 2 outs for Ryan Braun. From the series he's had, Rock.
Yeah, he's just been driving the baseball and taking everything to the opposite field. And you can see Ryan Braun off the plate. I mean, he really doesn't crowd the plate too much. He likes the ball out away from. There's a pitch that's down the middle that he's able to hit into center field. There's a pitch a lot of home run hitters right there are going to try and pull into left field. The barrel of the bat, and he drives it out of here to right center. Pitch up in the strike zone. You've seen him hit pitch down in the zone, up in the zone, middle in, and a pitch middle away that he's able to take into right center. Right there off of Cole Hamels.
4 home runs, 3 games for Ryan Braun. And missed a 5th home run by inches on the wall against Cole Hamels yesterday. The one that bounced off the top corner. He's actually hit 2 that have bounced off the top corner of the wall. One bounced out, one stayed in. 33 homers, 83 runs batted in. He's tied with Beltran for the league lead in RBIs. is down 0-2 to Kyle Kendrick. Kendrick struck him out looking in the first inning. He spotted an outside corner fastball, and Braun watched it go by. He tried that same spot. Braun able to foul it away.
Yep.
You mentioned in the open that you think Braun has maybe backed off just a little bit off the plate. I mean, he's always stood off the plate, but maybe even a little bit more.
It seemed like that period of time, that 10-game stretch where he was having a rough time, they were getting in on his hand. I mean, he covers the outside corner so well. It may be just me, but it seems as though he's been able to handle that pitch middle in, and certainly is able to cover outside. Some of these adjustments that hitters like Braun make are so minute that that's all it takes to get on a hot streak. No doubt that he likes the ball out away from him, like most power hitters.
Well, he has the tools to do it. He's one of the few that can drive the ball out of the ballpark to right field consistently. So if he feels like he's not able to turn on a pitch, he just makes that inside corner fastball right down the middle with how far he stands away from the plate. And he knows the strike zone so well.
And that's the danger of moving from what you're used to in the batter's box, because if you move up or back or in or out, I mean, that strike zone changes for you. What you perceive as a strike, if you have a new spot in the batter's box, may not be a strike.
That one's hit high in the air to center field. He just got under this one. And Mayberry will haul it in for the out. Inning over. Kendrick with 3 shutout on the board.
Before the roof could close. Didn't last long. Michael Martinez able to get the Phillies on the board early today in the second inning. A 2-run shot, his second of the year. And then Domonic Brown with the bases loaded slices one down the left field line off of Randy Wolf. A 3-run double to give the Phillies a 5-0 lead as we head to the fourth.
2 swings of the bats, producing 5 runs for the Phillies today. Kyle Kendrick, who will lead off for Philadelphia. He has held the Brewers scoreless on 3 hits through the first 3 innings. Kendrick reached on a fielder's choice his first time up, tried to bunt a runner over. And a little tapper to the mound, Randy Wolf for the first out. A reminder that Sundays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, you can join Tom Brokaw for Boys in the Hall. The personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends. And after the game today, it's Whitey Ford. Boys in the Hall after the game, presented by Subway Restaurants, where winners eat. Great crowd on hand today. It'll be pushing a sellout here at Miller Park. Roof all closed up. Sun was out just a few minutes prior to first pitch. A thunderstorm popped up quickly and had some significant rain on the field. You still see some of the remnants of it, the diamond dry that the grounds crew placed on the field. But they got the roof closed up, and now it looks like the sun is shining again.
As long as it's nice for some post-game barbecues.
Just enough to get the grass wet, right?
Yeah. Stir the fish up a little bit.
There's plenty of pregame barbecues going on. Tailgating was exquisite today. We were lined up, tailgating by the thousands before the ball game. It's always a great scene to come into Miller Park. Very unique for a Major League Baseball franchise. Kind of has that college football feel to it, or pro football at Lambeau. The tailgating experience. Nobody does it better.
Smells good driving into the old ballpark.
Jimmy Rollins in the deep left center field. Carlos Gomez will run it down. 2 outs. Our AT&T trivia question this afternoon. Get into more of Bill Schroeder's career with this question. No, just kidding. Who are the only 2 active players with at least 10 seasons with 30 or more stolen bases? You're not on one of those lists, are you?
No.
So 2 active players with at least 10 seasons of 30 or more steals.
I could have been, but they didn't let me run.
That wasn't your fault.
Actually, I don't think I was on 30 times.
Two outs for Kevin Franzen, who has 2 hits today. Well, when it's all said and done this year, Franzen is going to have a very good season. Unfortunately, most of it came in AAA. Playing for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Got a +300 batting average there. Gets sawed off. Randy Wolf makes the play, and a quick 1-2-3 inning. He needed that. 5-0 Phillies. The Brewers are coming up.
Time to check in with the crew in the community. Brewers Community Foundation launches a whole week of fun for a cause. The ultimate auction is a fan favorite. 13 experiences are available for bid online, including use of a suite at Miller Park for 20 guests, Mark Antanasio's 5 front row seats, and an all-expense Brewers fantasy camp at Maryvale Park in Phoenix, Arizona. The raffles and games will be featured each day over 2 homestands on the field level first base side at Miller Park. And the most important one we can't forget, Brian, is the dinner with you and Bill, of course.
Yeah, very good, Telly. I'm glad you snuck that in. Telly did a little ad-libbing there.
I saw that.
And I like that, the most important one. Just for our own.
How's that going, by
our
the
own
way?
egos. I'm not sure. I know the opening bid was $800, and there weren't a whole lot of takers there in the early stages, but
That's pretty good, though. $800.
yeah, it's all for a good cause.
Right.
Charitable donation. But we would love to dine with you prior to the ball game. Jonathan Lucroy back to the mound. Kendrick makes a nice play, and Lucroy is retired, the first out here in the 4th.
I think Kendrick doing a real good job today of keeping that baseball down. He really hasn't made any mistakes yet. That sinker, the slider, throwing a couple of change-ups. Taking a page right out of the Cole Hamels book today.
Well, this year there have been 2 versions of Kyle Kendrick. Good Kendrick and bad Kendrick. And not very many outings in between. But he does have some impressive games on the board this season, including a shutout over the St. Louis Cardinals. Went the distance against St. Louis back on May 26th. 9 innings, gave up 7 hits, and did not walk a batter in that game. That is, in my mind, the best hitting team in the National League, and Kendrick shut them out.
Yeah.
In a 4-0 win.
Well, his last time out, he shut out the Miami Marlins 1-0 on a 5-hitter in 7 innings. One thing this Phillies starting rotation, do a good job of is limiting the walks. They don't walk many. Pound the strike zone. You've seen that in every game of this series.
Inside, spins Ishikawa out of there. Roy Halladay will take the ball next for the Phillies. They've got a homestand coming up. Halladay pitched prior to this series beginning. Halladay facing the Reds tomorrow in Philadelphia, and a 4-game series with Cincinnati. Halladay was roughed up his last time out. Took a loss against the Marlins. Very un-Halladay type season this year. Same for Cliff Lee. But the Phillies are confident that the big 3, Halladay, Lee, and Hamels, all returning next year, can put them right back in a position to contend again. There's a strike called. Ishikawa is rung up, and 2 quick outs for Kyle Kendrick. Back to our AT&T trivia. The 2 active players with at least 10 seasons of 30 or more stolen bases. Juan Pierre is one of them, and the other Ichiro, now a Yankee. Pierre not in the starting lineup. He's been a great base stealer throughout his career. He's had a couple of seasons in the 60s for stolen bases.
And he's had good success against Randy Wolf. Surprising that he's not in the starting lineup. Juan Pierre career in 36 at bats, hitting almost 390.
Despite the lefty on lefty.
Right.
Put me in, coach, he says. It's always a benchmark for a base stealer, that 30 stolen base season.
Hey, figure Carlos Gomez is going to get there.
Yeah, and he missed nearly a month with a hamstring injury. And even when he came back, he wasn't running much. As Gomez pops this one up. And Kyle Kendrick stays in the rocking chair. For shutout, he's given up just 3 hits, 5-0 Phillies. It's time now to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery. Kyle Kendrick and Randy Wolf. Kendrick topping out at 92. We've seen a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Randy Wolf. Kendrick working on a shutout. Wolf's given up 5 runs on 7 hits. Coming off a 3-up, 3-down inning. That one is whistled into center field by Mayberry.
Hey, today's time of the game winner is Boondocks Locker Room in Galesville, Wisconsin, if they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. Is Galesville on our map back there, Mike? Western Wisconsin, I'm told. They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Galesville.
Making the R&D public today. Mike Faulkner, the king of the map.
It's quite an extensive map.
Yep.
I think every tavern winner is on that map.
I think it's important to cover the state.
It's the Tavern League of Wisconsin winner map. It's all laid out all year.
That. That's good. And Mike Faulkner's been in every venue.
No, we should autograph that and auction that off.
Yeah. Why don't you do that
at some point in the year?
Get your people involved in that, Rock.
Maybe a Tavern League winner would find that to be interesting.
Your team of R&D, your entourage. You've done a nice job this year. I've been very impressed with your open-mindedness. Launching into social media. There's a bouncer that is through for a base hit. Ryan Howard with a single. And the first 2 have reached against Randy Wolf.
Well, you just can't ignore the advances in society. That's the way I look at it. Hey, the Cubs return to Miller Park next week. So the Brewers host Dale Swayman, his Chicago Cubs. That's Monday through Wednesday. For tickets, call 902-4000 or visit Brewers.com.
Cubs in here tomorrow to start that 3-game series. Justin Germano will face Mark Rogers tomorrow. Cubs are still undecided about who will pitch on Tuesday. It looks like Travis Wood and Giovanni Gallardo for the finale of the series Wednesday afternoon. Ty Wigginton with 2 on. Phillies have come out swinging today. 2 big hits, a 2-run homer from Martinez, Michael Martinez. Wigginton into left field. Braun is there, makes the play. Unfortunate for Randy Wolf. A line drive out for the first out. The runner stay put. Now a double play, and Wolf could get out of this inning.
Well, Ron Renneke would love to see Randy Wolf get through this inning. His spot is due up third. He's very short on his bench. Actually had to use Mark Rogers as a pinch hitter early yesterday. A short start for Mike Fiers. He'd like to be able to get through this inning without having to, burn a pitcher.
Fiers went 5 innings yesterday, gave up 4 earned runs. Facing Cole Hamels, the Brewers were able to almost come back. They brought it within a run. There's Mike McClendon. Domonic Brown had a big hit, a 3-run double in the 3rd inning. Two guys have been pretty quiet at the plate. Michael Martinez and Domonic Brown doing some big damage here today. Soft liner, going to be an easy double play. How about that? 2 line drive outs. The last one turns into 2. A double play to win the inning. That base running by the Phillies, John Mayberry. We'll see if that will turn into something for the Brewers. Final game of the series at Miller Park, the Brewers and the Philadelphia Phillies, 5-time division champs in the East. Been a rough year for them this year, as it has for the Brew Crew. With Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Telly Hughes is here. And a big crowd. It'll be pushing a sellout today. So far, not a whole lot going on offensively for the Brewers to cheer about. Kyle Kendrick working on a 3-hit shutout. Facing Cody Ransom to start this 5th inning. Ransom a strikeout victim in the 2nd. A lot of baseball going on today across the big leagues. A lot of day baseball. The division leading Reds now tied up with the Cubs. The Cubs had a 4-1 lead, but Cincinnati has come back. Now 4-4 in the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th in Cincinnati. Cubs will be coming from Cincinnati to Milwaukee after the game today. And the Brewers and the Cubs start a series tomorrow. Dodgers are shutting out the Braves today. 2-0. Dodgers getting a 3-hit shutout from Chad Billingsley through 7 innings. As Ransom lifts that one deep to center. But it'll stay in the ballpark as Mayberry hauls it in for the out. Elsewhere, the National League, the Nationals and the Mets are delayed by rain in D.C. Big news out of Houston last night. Brad Mills was fired as the Astros manager. Tony DeFrancesco takes over, who was their AAA manager. Diamondbacks have a 5-0 lead over Houston in the 5th inning today.
That's a tough duty for Brad Mills. All the players they lost over the last few years. I think you're doing Brad Mills a favor, actually, if you don't figure he was going to come back next year.
Yeah, give him an early start on his vacation.
Right. That's rough duty over there.
Segura flies out to right.
Not sure what the expectations were for Brad Mills, given what he had to work with.
Now Mills, that was his first big league managerial job. He had been the bench coach for the Red Sox. He's a good baseball man and very well respected around the league. You figure he'll get a chance, certainly as a coach, possibly as a manager down the road. I know Dale Swaim, who was on the same coaching staff as Brad Mills, always had great things to say about Mills and his preparation.
Yep, over in Boston together.
Randy Wolf slaps one foul. What else is going on in the league? The Cardinals have a 2-1 lead over the Pirates. It's been a showdown series in St. Louis. Pirates won the opener and Cardinals won last night, now leading in the 6th inning today behind Jaime Garcia. Marlins and the Rockies just underway, 1-0 Miami in the bottom of the 2nd. Giants Padres a little bit later. Ryan Vogelsong against Clayton Richard.
Never guess who the night game is tonight.
Who you got?
Yankees Boston.
Oh,
is that a surprise?
It's unusual. Just don't get a chance to see them that often. Yeah, Josh Beckett against Hiroki Kuroda. Kuroda's had a nice year for the Yankees. He took a no-hitter into the late stages in his last start. Josh Beckett not so much. Randy Wolf sends one to right. That ball's well hit. Back is Brown. He's got it. And Wolf is out. 3 up, 3 down. Kendrick has retired 8 straight. Returned to practice today after a second straight rough preseason loss. That was Thursday night in Green Bay. You can read Paul Emming's coverage later today and every day at FoxSportsWisconsin.com. The trained eyes of Paul Emming. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Michael Martinez leads off, pulls one to Segura for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out as Randy Wolf starts the 6th inning. The Phillies had Randy Wolf on the ropes last inning, 2 on to start the frame. He had already given up 5 runs. Bullpen was up. 2 line drives by the Phillies, right 2 fielders. One of them resulting in a line drive out that turned into a double play, and Wolf has a chance now to carry on here. Ryan Snyder with a single back in the 2nd inning. Center field pretty well hit. Gomez tracking it, and Gomez runs it down. Oh, makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Yeah, just getting ready to say, kind of drifting on that. Knew right from the beginning that he had room and had time to get back. He loves to play center field. He loves to run, chase down fly balls. He hates the routine fly ball right at him because he can't move around. Playing shallow, able to go back on it and haul it in.
He's a terrific outfielder. Plays it with a little style. He's had some great catches this year. Maybe the best catch of the season when he covered so much ground from his position in center to the left center field wall. He leaped, made the catch, slammed into the wall, all in one motion. Always good for a few highlights every year, Carlos Gomez. Two big swings of the bat have cost Randy Wolf today. As he strikes out Kyle Kendrick, a 1-2-3 inning for Randy Wolf. He is now through 6. Brewers need some offense to help him out.
Yeah.
Which means it's a big day for Drew Olson bringing up the rear. There he is.
Makes it even more exciting.
There's Drew, the keeper of the sausage race.
He does a nice job corralling. He's like a sheepdog.
Well done. Everybody's on their feet still. As always, great fun here at Miller Park. A lot of ways to enjoy yourself. 5-0, Kyle Kendrick leading the Brewers. He has shut them out on 3 hits. And he will face the top of the order coming up. See if the Brewers can solve the puzzle here of Kyle Kendrick. Nigel Morgan has 2 of the 3 hits. A triple and a single. Morgan out to Michael Martinez. 1 pitch, 1 out for Kyle Kendrick.
Hey, at every non-marquee home games, fans can purchase a half-price bleacher ticket in the Club Goodwill bleacher section in Miller Park. Club Goodwill tickets are sold at the ticket windows in left field.
Sunday afternoon at Miller Park. Homestand continues tomorrow against the Cubs. And then the Brewers will head out on a road trip beginning Friday. Pittsburgh and Chicago the next road trip. Ricky Weeks takes strike 1. On a no-hitter watch in the American League, Jeremy Guthrie. 6 no-hit innings before giving up a hit in the 7th against the White Sox. He's done a nice job for the Kansas City Royals. Royals lead 2-0. Guthrie still has a 1-hit shutout in place against a very good ball club, the Chicago White Sox. White Sox are the American League Central Division leaders to start play today. A game and a half ahead of the Tigers. Tigers are losing to the Orioles in the 9th inning, 7-5 in Detroit. There's a strike called. Kendrick has worn out that spot today.
Yes, he has. He's had very good command with the slider and the fastball. Able to catch that outside edge. A little bit of a late movement coming back. Tails right back over the outside corner. Right-handers can't give up on it. We've seen that a couple of times tonight.
And you see why they call it a comeback sinker. What looks like a ball comes back over the outside corner of the plate. Ryan Braun, a broken bat, bouncer to short, strong throw from Rollins. Boy, he has a great arm. Braun is out, 3 up and 3 down. Kendrick rolling here today. Reminding you to please play responsibly. By the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can, it's Miller time. And by Burger King. Come play family food, where every game piece has a prize. Top of the 7th at Miller Park. Milwaukee. And Jimmy Rollins leads off for the Phillies. Sellout here today, the 15th sellout of the season, 42,224. It's been a disappointing season on the field overall, but a great fan support. Some of the best fans in all of baseball and all of sports even. Jimmy Rollins 0 for 3. Been mired in a long slump here as he slices one to right field. Morgan down the line, can't quite get it, just bounced off the sidewall. There's not a whole lot of room down that right field line. Quickly 0-2 on Jimmy Rollins. Rollins is 0 for his last 15 at the plate.
Actually overran it. If he slows down a little bit, that ball didn't even hit the wall, did it? Not sure.
Oh, 2 on Rollins. Hit hard to center. Right to Gomez. Well, Randy Wolf has settled down. He gave up that 3 RBI double in the 3rd inning. He was on the ropes in the 5th with 2 on. Looked like he might be out of the game, but he was able to survive the 5th. He got a 3 up, 3 down 6th, and here he is in the 7th.
Phillies with a bunch of atom balls last couple of innings. Line drive outs, deep fly balls, but they all count.
Kevin Franzen has to laugh at that 58-mile-an-hour offering from Randy Wolf. That's not even the slowest pitch he's thrown this year.
I think I got to try something. This guy's been swinging the bat well in this series.
Little changeup in there for a strike. 2-1. Franzen with 2 hits today. He had a big hit on Thursday, drove in 3 runs, but he also committed a huge error in that game. That was an 8th inning error that opened up the inning for Milwaukee. Corey Hardwood hit a grand slam to culminate that inning, and the Brewers had a comeback win on Thursday night. Milwaukee won the first 2 games. The Phillies won last night.
They've all been pretty good ball games, though. They're well played. There's been some mistakes in the outfield, some base running blunders for both teams, but very competitive.
Little jam shot. Segura got a long way to go. He lays out and unable to make the catch. A great effort by Gene Segura. But Kevin Franzen with his second 3-hit game in the series. It looks like Segura's shaken up a little bit. Well, that was some kind of effort by Segura. He made it close.
Hey, he went a long way, showing his good speed going out, back to the infield, and didn't miss it by much, maybe a foot. Maybe knocking the wind out of himself, but a very good effort out there at shortstop. That Franzen, doesn't even matter if he hits the ball hard. He seems to always be able to find the outfield grass. Another base hit.
Now those fly balls can be dangerous for infielders with outfielders coming in. I remember Dale Swaim broke his leg on a play similar to that in left field. There's a pop up. This will be easy enough for Ishikawa. Foul territory. Mayberry retired. 2 outs in the inning. As much as you talk about it, one goes high, the other goes low. Instincts take over on a tweener like that. Here's Ryan Howard now with 2 outs and a man on. Howard with 2 hits today.
Just a little bit out in front on that curveball. 69 miles an hour for Wolfie that time.
Count goes to 2-1. Now Wolf doesn't throw those slow curveballs to be funny. He tries to use them to his advantage. He feels like a hitter's getting some timing against him. He likes to slow it down, and he really slows it down. Sidearm breaking ball this time, in there for a strike.
Man, that's where you want to put it, right on the outside corner. Hitter really doesn't have much of a chance. You see Wolfie do this once in a while, just to a left-hander. Perfectly placed.
2-2, another one, a sidearm fastball, and he rings him up. Randy Wolf, a finishing kick today. He is through 7, but down 5-0 to Kyle Kendrick and the Phillies. We keep it right here for Miller Park's presentation of God Bless America. Turn it over to Rob Edwards.
Our great nation with God Bless America, led by Martina McBride.
From the
Is here, and of course Braun entering the 2020 club. The question today, can he enter the 30-30 club by the end of the year?
Fans showing a lot of confidence in Braun with their comments today. We'll get right into it. Odalise said Ryan Braun has shown he can hit everything, and if he stays healthy, will have over 30 stolen bases. Gotta love the fans who took it a step further. Amanda said, of course he'll get 30-30, probably even 40-30. Just needs to get on base, and Renicky will give him the opportunities. Ryan agreed, saying Braun will not do a 30-30 because he is going to do 40-30. So BA and Rock fans looking to see what Braun can put together here the rest of the way.
Yeah, all about the numbers, right, Sophia? And I wouldn't put it past him to do it. He needs 10 stolen bases for 30 steals. And Ryan Braun needs 7 home runs for 40 home runs. No Brewer player in franchise history has ever gone 40-30. The closest was Tommy Harper, who hit 31 home runs and 38 stolen bases.
Now, Ryan Braun is a self-motivator, as we talked about today on our open when we came on the air today. I mean, it doesn't really matter what's going on around Ryan, whether the team is good, bad, or indifferent, who's doing what in front of him in the lineup or behind him. He figures out a way. I mean, it's unique in that's how you become an MVP, and you have a career like Ryan Braun. You motivate yourself. Motivation within, trying to be the best, and Ryan Braun certainly epitomizes that.
Braun today is hitless. Kyle Kendrick has been tough on the Brewers. Only 3 hits allowed as Jonathan Lucroy pulls it foul. It's a nice play down there. It's the hot corner down there.
Those are some sweet shoes too, huh? Those would look good on you, partner.
Look at this play.
What color do you think that is?
That's a hot pink.
Hot pink
on the hot corner. Keep it in front. Make the play. Well done. 2-2 to Lucroy. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nigel Morgan has 2 of the 3 hits. Travis Ishikawa the other. This game started offensively for the Brewers with a triple from Morgan. And the Brewers, with a runner at third, nobody out, could not score him. Kendrick walks Lucroy. And the first blemish for Kyle Kendrick, his first walk, leads off the 7th inning. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming text question today: does a player who normally starts change his routine when he receives a day off? Tyler wants to know in Onalaska.
Oh, that's the idea. I mean, a manager gives a guy like Corey Hart or Ramis Ramirez a day off, and in hopes that he's not going to be taking swings all day in the cage. Take batting practice, you sit him down and give him a day off, and by definition that means before and after the game, not just during the game. A mental break as much as a physical break.
Ishikawa, little flare, shallow center field, and it'll be run down by Mayberry. One away.
Just the way he's been pitching all day, a little bit in front of pitches for the Brewers, a little bit behind on the end of the bat and down on the handle. Just have not been able to square him up a whole lot.
So Carlos Gomez with 1 out. In the air to right. Lance Nix just into the game with room for the out.
That's what we're talking about. Just a little bit down on the handle. Down on the trademark. Enough to keep it in the ballpark.
Two pitches have produced 2 outs. Kendrick had a 5-pitch 6th inning. And right now sitting at 98 pitches. He's thrown 70 strikes of the 97 pitches that he's thrown. Cody Ransom with 2 away. Slow roller to third. Franzen makes the play, and Kyle Kendrick with another scoreless frame on the board. 7 shutout for Kendrick.
Clouds and sunshine, just a mix of them, but also a spotty shower or a thunderstorm, probably mainly into the afternoon hours. First pitch coming in at 66 with winds out of the east of 5 to 10.
All right, Valerie, thanks. Time now for our Toyota game summary. Had some rain here today, believe it or not. Actually delayed the game for a little while they put the diamond dry down. The roof was closed up. Play resumed, and the Phillies getting a 2-run homer from Michael Martinez in the second inning. And then a big hit, a 3 RBI double from Domonic Brown. That was in the third. And at that point, it was 5-0. Phillies have 5 runs on 10 hits. Meanwhile, Kyle Kendrick has shut down the Brewers through 7 innings. Kendrick has given up just 3 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. In our Miller Lite, what's on tap? Brewers and the Cubs tomorrow, 6:30 airtime tomorrow and Tuesday. It's a day game on Wednesday. New pitcher, new hitter, and Braun cannot make the play. Lance Nix drives one to left, and he'll roll into second base. First at bat for Lance Nix. Mike McClendon, the new Brewer pitcher. And we'll see how they score that one in left field.
You figure that's got to be an error. That ball was he was tracking that all the way, kind of just routinely going back, and just could not haul it in. That will be an E7. Mike McClendon's first pitch, up and away. And Ryan Braun actually leaped. It hit the heel of his glove, and that'll be an error. The ball carried pretty well for Lance Nix. I think it fooled Braun.
So that'll be an E7, the 6th error season for Ryan Braun. And the numbers on Mike McClendon in the game for Randy Wolf. Wolf goes 7, 5 earned runs. McClendon making his 8th appearance.
Last pitched on Monday against the Rockies, so it's been a while. He pitched 2 innings, did not allow a run to cross. Yeah, tough duty for a guy like McClendon. He relies on command. He doesn't throw hard, and he doesn't have the ability to get out there all that often. You know, Monday's the last time, and that's almost a week. That's a long layoff for a control pitcher.
Oh, and 2 the count on Domonic Brown. Final line on Randy Wolf, 7 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs all earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts.
And both of the walks that he issued ended up scoring.
And 2 big hits by the Phillies, producing all 5 of those runs. There's a hard hit ball. Pass Weeks at second. Up with it, Morgan. They'll hold the runner, Nix, around third base. And the Phillies with 2 on to start this 8th inning. Dominic Brown has 2 hits today, including that 3 RBI double back in the 3rd.
Next batter, the second baseman, Michael Martinez.
So 1st and 3rd, nobody out for Michael Martinez. Hit a 2-run homer right-handed in the 2nd inning. There's a shot. Oh, what a play. Ishikawa coming to the plate. And the tag is in time.
Nice.
Wow. What a great play. Ishikawa, knowing the Brewers have to cut the runoff to stay in this one. And a nice pickup by Lucroy for the out. That was something.
Well, because he was a left-handed thrower, he is a left-handed thrower, made that play a lot easier. He's able to stay on the ground, make a very good throw to home plate, and just in time to get Nix. You got a great jump. We'll check it out. Does the foot get in there? No, it doesn't. And Lucroy able to get him. Got him on the arm before Nix was able to get that foot on the plate.
Yeah, good call by Mike McClinsky. That's a tough play for a catcher. Excellent play. Ishikawa to Lucroy for the first out of the inning, robbing Martinez of a base hit and another RBI.
Hey, what makes that a tough play is the fact that your eyes are going toward first base. You're looking at the throw as it's coming. Even a throw in from right field, because you can't really see the runner or where he's at. Is he going to come and knock you over? Is he going to slide? That was a problem Buster Posey had early last year. A throw in from right field. You can sense where the runner's going to be, but you better protect yourself. And Lucroy able to slap the tag.
Brian Snyder with 1 away. Five to nothing Phillies. A terrific play by Ishikawa, keeping it at 5-0. Brewers are at the bottom of their order in the bottom of the 8th. They've got Segura leading off in the pitcher spot, and then back to the top. Mike McClendon, he features a palm ball, an old school pitch that he'll break out every now and then. In the air, right center. Morgan and Gomez on the run. That ball is off the wall. Takes a big bounce. 1 run is in. That is Brown. Martinez right behind him. And it's a 2 RBI double for Brian Snyder. And it makes it 7-0 Phillies. And that one hurts.
Well, it's going to be tough enough for the Brewers to come back, falling behind 5-0. And Schneider hits that one pretty well. He got under it. Looked as though for a second that Gomez was going to be able to get there. That's the thing about, Gomez and the way he plays. You expect him to catch everything and stays in the ballpark. Not able to do it. And 2 runs come across for the Cardinals, or I should say the Phillies. Brown and Martinez.
Kyle Kendrick will hit here in the 8th inning. Bottom of the Phillies order doing the damage tonight. 6, 7, and 8 place hitters in this game, responsible for all of the RBIs. Cody Ransom will make the catch for the second out. So the Reds had another comeback win today. They beat the Cubs, their 9th walk-off win of the season. Cincinnati beat the Cubs 5-4. Cubs will be here tomorrow. Reds are having one of those magical seasons. They're now 74 and 48.
And the best home record in baseball.
Now the win today was their 41st home win. 41 and 22. And amazingly, the Reds doing all of this without Joey Votto. This recent run here, Votto went on the disabled list right at the All-Star break, has not come back. Actually had a setback. They had to go back in the surgically repaired knee. But he will be back. They're expecting him back in September.
Actually playing better.
Rollins bounces out. The inning is over, but the Phillies put 2 more on the board. 7-0 Philadelphia as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Brewers Live postgame coming up after the ball game, but on a Brewers Live pregame we talked about the importance of Randy Wolf trying to gain some sort of consistency between now and season's end that he hasn't had all year long, and today wasn't a good case for it.
Well, you know, it certainly was. He got off to a little rough start. The first 3 innings, you know, just was not good. Then he seemed to really settle in after that, but the damage had already been done.
All right, so a tough break so far here for the Brewers as they tried to win this series against the Phillies, but are coming up short right now. We'll cover it all here from Ron Reineke plus our instructional after the ball game, Brian.
All right, Craig and Davey, thanks. Gene Segura leads off for Milwaukee. Looks like Nori Aoki will hit for McClendon next. So Segura, Aoki, and Morgan. 7-0. Kendrick has been the story. Phillies have gotten some timely hits today, but Kendrick has shut the Brewers out on 3 hits as he pitches in the 8th inning. His pitch count just went over 100. He's at 102. Kendrick went 7 shutout innings against the Marlins in his last start, and he is putting up more zeros today. Two balls and a strike on Segura. Bouncing ball. Kendrick makes the play for the first out. Well, looks like John Axford will have the 9th inning. As Mike McClendon will be pinch hit for Nori Aoki. Announced as the pinch hitter. Good for Axford to get some innings here. Low stress innings. Kendrick pouring in the strikes.
Yeah, 105 pitches for Kendrick, 74 of them for strikes. That's pretty good ratio. And most of them quality strikes. Keeping the baseball down, both the fastball and the slider. Basically 2 pitches today. Back-to-back very good starts for Kyle Kendrick. Hasn't allowed a run since August 8th.
Aoki stays alive, able to foul it back. Nori Aoki pinch hitting. Scuffling a little bit at the plate here lately. Aoki. Medically giving him the day off today. Aoki's batting average down to 279. First year in the major leagues, over from Japan. Much more grueling schedule. And Aoki is down on strikes. So Kendrick picks up number 6. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. And here's Niger Morgan now. Morgan, one of the few to have any success against Kendrick at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Had a triple in the first inning. And then he singled in the 3rd. 7-0 Philadelphia. They've out-hit the Brewers 12-3. Morgan now with 4 hits in the series. He's 4 for 7 at the plate. His bat starting to pick up a little bit. Morgan hit over 300 last year. And it's his bat that has kept him around. Morgan had a terrific season last season, one of his best as a big leaguer, and certainly had the biggest hit of his life last year when he singled home Carlos Gomez to win the National League Division Series. A walk-off hit, sending the Brewers to the LCS. Morgan strikes out, inning over. Kendrick, 8 shutout. today for the Phillies. And it'll be John Axford now to pitch the ninth. The clean-cut John Axford. Still trying to put the pieces together in a season that has been one of much frustration for the Brewers closer after a brilliant 2011 season. Axford back on his 53rd appearance.
Well, still got the strikeout numbers, but the walks have been the issue and have been troublesome for Axford. 7 home runs allowed, 62 strikeouts in 49 innings. But the earned run average over 5. Last pitch on Wednesday against the Rockies, and did not allow a run.
Well, Doug Melvin just the other day was speaking to reporters about John Axford and making the statement that he is a big part of the plans. He still believes in John Axford. The Brewers certainly need him to reestablish himself as that dominant closer. It's tough to go into an offseason, prepare for a season not knowing what your bullpen's going to look like. So these are some important final days for John Axford of the 2012 season.
Well, you figure there's going to be a lot of changes out in that bullpen, but the Brewers are hoping that closer will not be one of them. And perhaps just a glitch on the radar screen for John Axford. We'll see.
And it certainly happens. Every closer goes through their struggles at times. There are very few Mariano Rivera's out there that carry on throughout a career and really don't have any blown saves or significant blown saves. But relievers are like that for the most part. You see relievers have great years followed up by bad years. Unfortunately for the Brewers, their late inning relievers, starting with Veras and then K-Rod and Axford, have all had down years all at the same time. But there's no question that Axford still has the stuff. Great competitive nature. He's a guy that can process a lot of information. Has the temperament to be a closer. There's a shot off his glove right to Weeks, and Franson is retired. Axford kept that from center field. Would have been Franson's 4th hit. One gone for John Mayberry Jr.
Center fielder John Mayberry Jr.
Mayberry has a hit today, 1 for 4. Most of the damage done for the Phillies coming from the bottom of their order. 6, 7, and 8. Brown, Martinez, and Schneider driving in all 7 runs today. Randy Wolf started, the former Philly. He's on the hook for the loss, which would be his 10th. 7 innings, 5 earned runs. And Kendrick in line for the win. Looking to... It'll be Mark Rogers tomorrow for the Brewers. Mark Rogers against Justin Germano of the Chicago Cubs. Rogers, Estrada, and Gallardo in the 3-game series against the Cubs.
A good breaking ball right there from Axford. That's the pitch that he's been looking for all year. Curveball or slider. I don't know which one it was, but he threw it for a strike.
In the right, a base hit for Mayberry. His 2nd hit, and a base runner with 1 away. Got a bit of news out of Colorado. The Miami Marlins outfielder Giancarlo Stanton homered today, and has homered in his first 6 games at Coors Field in Colorado. That's never been done
at any stadium. Yeah, they say it was a blast about 450 feet. That guy's something else, isn't he? He's got some big time power, that young man. Brewers see him in September.
Yeah, the Brewers' first trip to Miami, first and only trip. Giancarlo Stanton. Howard takes a fastball in. These are the kind of matchups that Ron Rinicky and Rick Kranitz are keeping a close eye on, with Axford on the mound against one of the game's top sluggers in Ryan Howard. Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Axford. 2-1. Axford was mentored by Trevor Hoffman, and those two still communicate a great deal. It was Axford who eventually took over the closer's role from Trevor Hoffman, who at the time was the all-time saves leader. Hoffman got his 600th save in a Brewers uniform. Trevor Hoffman was here 2 years. It had a lasting impact, though, on this organization. Two and two the count, and that one's in there. Called strike 3 as Axford strikes out Ryan Howard for the second out.
That was a nice fastball in on his hands. Catch in the inside corner at 96 miles an hour for John Axford. LUCROY setting up inside, and that's exactly where he put it. Good pitch.
Two outs now for Lance Nix. Nix reached on an error in his first at bat. Came in for defensive purposes, although he hit one hard in his last at bat, last time up. A play that Braun could not make off his glove in left field. Foul tip. 0-2 the count on Nix.
Get him off that outside corner a little bit. Up and in. Now drop that curveball right on the outside corner.
Nix, another guy standing right on top of the plate. 1-2 pitch and a fastball just missed. Goodness. 2-2. Axford working with a little quicker pace. Curveball down on the dirt, skips away from LUCROY, and Mayberry will take the extra base. That'll be a wild pitch. Not exactly the kind of birthday present the Brewers were wanting to offer their manager today.
Yeah, so far kind of a dud, huh? Not much going on for the Brew Crew.
It's like those candles that never blow out.
Yeah.
Got to give a lot of credit to Kyle Kendrick. Pitched a very good ball game. That one misses inside. So Axford with 2 on, a hit and a walk, and he'll deal with Domonic Brown now.
And that's what happens when you have a well-pitched game. You know, your team looks lifeless. It's anything but that. It's just that they're just grinding away, trying to get a good pitch to hit. And it seems as though when they did today, they hit it right at somebody. You can't dismiss what Kyle Kendrick was able to do. 2 very good, well-pitched games for the Phillies back-to-back nights.
Now Hamels last night. That one's ripped center field, a base hit. And Mayberry around third. Here's the throw. It's up the line. An RBI single for Domonic Brown, his 4th RBI of the ball game on his 3rd hit, and it's 8-0, and more trouble for John Axford.
I just wonder about that pitch to Lance Nix on a 2-strike. Just missing the inside corner, not called by the home plate umpire, and then a walk and a missile right up the middle. Todd Tishner has to duck out of the way, and yet another run. John Mayberry Jr. able to score run number 8.
Phillies now at 14 hits. Here's Martinez. 1 hopper to Weeks, and the side is retired. The Phillies add a run on 2 hits. 8-0. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Brewers still leading the National League in home runs with 144 team home runs this year. But today they have been shut out. A little bit different story today. The Phillies backing up Cole Hamels' performance yesterday with Kyle Kendrick's 8 shutout innings. Ryan Braun leads all Brewers, leads the National League. 33 of those 144 home runs on the Powerball home run leaderboard. Hart had the grand slam on Thursday. Ramos Ramirez, a couple of home runs as well in this set. So here we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Michael Schwimmer will take over. He'll try to finish this one out. Kyle Kendrick impressive with 8 innings, giving up just 3 hits and no runs today.
And 4 over the minimum for Kyle Kendrick with 3 hits and a walk. The only time the Brewers had a man in scoring position was the 1st inning.
Ricky Weeks on the first pitch, out to Jimmy Rollins. Out number 1. Now Kendrick never faced more than 4 batters in an inning. Brewers ran themselves out of an inning in the first. That was really their best chance to score. And didn't have a runner into scoring position after the 3rd inning. Ryan Braun's final at bat. 0 for 3 today is Braun. Updated batting average at .303. Down the right field line. Slicing, and that is a fair ball in the corner. And a ground rule double for Ryan Braun. How about that? Just flicked it out there.
Yeah, that's how strong he is and how well he can cover that outside corner. As far off the plate as he is, just check it out. Just the way he's able to get on top of that pitch that's away from him. Ball was up and on the corner and just inside that right field line for a ground rule double. Incredible hitter.
Well, his first hit of the ball game, and the Brewers continue to rack up the extra base hits. Got a chance this year to finish 1, 2, 3 in the National League in extra base hits with Ramirez, Corey Hart, Ryan Braun, all in the top 4 right now. Only once in the history of the game has a team had 3 players finish in that order, 1, 2, 3 in extra base hits. That was the 1960 New York Yankees. Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, and Moose Skowron. Not only is he able to cover the plate, but he's able to keep that ball fair in doing so.
And the key is that he's able to get on top of it. A lot of guys are going to get a piece of that pitch and maybe pop it up or hit a fly ball, but Brawny has the unique ability to go top down with that pitch, even when it's up and away. Unlike a lot of hitters. I mean, not many guys can do that.
Now, Carlos Beltran today, the Cardinals had 2 runs batted in, so he regains the lead in the RBI race in the National League. Braun and Beltran started the day tied for the league lead with 83. Beltran now with 85 for the season. Braun currently tied with Jay Bruce for extra base hits, second behind Aramis Ramirez. 1-2 pitch. LUCROY takes a ball. That Cardinals Pirates game is still in progress. They are headed to extra innings, 2-2. Pittsburgh and St. Louis. If the Cardinals win, then they will join the Pirates. They will have tied them in the division. The Reds already won today. Down the line, off the glove. And Franzen has no play. That'll be a base hit for LUCROY.
Let's get that goose egg off the board. That gives you an idea how good Kyle Kendrick was today. A pretty good offensive team, shut out. You bring in somebody else. There's an off-speed pitch, and LUCROY able to get down the line. There's that guy again, Kevin Franzen, saving a run for the time being, but Ryan Braun able to get into third base.
Runners at the corners for Ishikawa. Ishikawa pulls one foul. Travis getting to start today for the first time since July 21st. It's been a while since he found his name in the lineup card. Has a hit today. He's 1 for 3. The Brewers trying to avoid a shutout today. 1 out, first and third for Milwaukee, and Ishikawa down 0-2. Brewers have been shut out 8 times this year. And that looked like it hit him. Or did he swing? No, he did not. And Ishikawa is aboard. That will load the bases. A hit by pitch. The swing counts first, and that's why McClinsky, the umpire, came out to appeal the play to see if he in fact swung.
He tried the back foot slider. He got the foot, but Nishikawa able to hold up. That was pretty close. Mike McClinsky right on that call. And it looked pretty close. It could have gone either way, but Tony Randazzo said he didn't go.
So that loads the bases, and here's Carlos Gomez. Oh, and 2 on Gomez. Back at it tomorrow, 6:30 airtime for Brewers Live. Brewers Cubs. See how Mark Rogers will respond. Had a good day his last time out as Gomez strikes out. Steady diet of off speed for Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, 3 straight sliders, and Gomez out in front of every one of them. I think Gomez a little anxious to hit one out of here.
Here's Cody Ransom now with 2 away. Another slider, another swing and miss. I'm guessing Ransom might see another one at some point in this at bat.
Well, he hangs one. Cody's going to give it a pretty good whack.
Ransom has a grand slam this year.
There's your hanger.
Down to their last strike. Brewers won the first 2 in the series. The Phillies trying to win the last 2. At the Coups for Kids event, Cody Ransom will be there in just a couple of hours in Racine. Hope you'll make plans to join us there. A lot of the Brewers players coming out at the down in the marina at the Racine Festival Hall. Swing and a miss. The ball game is over, and the Phillies able to earn a split in this series after winning the final 2 games. Kyle Kendrick wins his 6th game of the year, 8 shutout innings. The Phillies win 8-0. Drops Randy Wolf to 3-10. Much more still to come. We check in with Craig Cashon. Time for Brewers Live. What do you have coming up, Craig?